Hello and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us tonight for the Cookout Podcast, where we talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling. Was that enough
I feel like
energy?
you say it faster every week. Yeah, we are here again on Tuesday night as always. And tonight we're gonna review Double or Nothing, AEW Double or Nothing, and WWE King and Queen of the Ring from Saturday and Sunday respectively last weekend. But because we know she's only here for a short period of time, we're gonna let CM kick us off with her Clown of the Week as she's been doing regularly. So, who we got this week?
Well, you got your standard CM Punk because fuck him. That's never gonna change. Like he don't even do nothing, but he breathes. So, sadly, gotta give him Clown of the Week because he's breathing over there.
Not to Tony Khan this week.
Why would I give it to Tony Khan?
Oh, I didn't know if he did anything that I haven't heard about.
No. There's a few. The other goes to the people complaining about Edge.
I can't hear Jack.
We can hear you though. The people complaining about Edge jumping off the cage, like it's a cage match. What you expect?
Cody
I
did
didn't
it.
see the complaint. He's too old to be doing that. Complaining that it didn't look good. Complaining what? I mean, what was the complaint?
He's too old to be doing that. That was an unnecessary risk. It's pro wrestling. You can tear a quad and get it in the damn ring.
And this is a dude that wasn't ever supposed to wrestle again, and now he's got a second birth on his career. I mean, he's not going to miss any opportunity he can. I mean,
like you can literally, have literally what?
Yeah. Now we got an echo coming from Anika.
Echo. Oh, and I don't hear an echo when I talk. Of course.
It lagged a little bit for the game first, but it's also the fact that it's like, bruh, it's pro wrestling. Adam Cole has a serious injury because he hopped off the freaking ring apron. Like, anything can happen. So go along with that. The people complaining about anarchy in the arena. It's so dumb. Why do they have that match? It's anarchy in the arena.
It's literally in the title.
Did you expect a whole technical wrestling masterpiece? And when you get the technical masterpiece, y'all still complain about it. What the hell?
This is the third year we've had it. Like, how do they not understand what the match is yet?
I don't know. I think it's just a bunch of people who want to complain about AEW. Mm-hmm. To be quite honest, it's not people who want to have arguments in good faith. It is very much Eric Bischoff, Jim Cornette type people who want to find any reason to complain about AEW. I liked how everything went down in Double or Nothing, minus the Willow stuff, of course. But yeah. But last but not least, my Clown of the Week is for whoever booked Sexy Red. Because here is my thing, and I'm going to speak for me and me alone. I don't understand how you go from the big three of Jade, Naomi, Bianca, present, powerful, like beautiful to look at, don't have to do all of that, to a woman who says she supports Trump because she's stupid, who spends time twerking for a bunch of races, and when she comes into the frame, it is twerking. Like, WTF. What happened to that Meg Thee Stallion like song y'all promised Jade? What happened to like a revamped image of Jade that y'all promised? Y'all have done nothing but give her a few more moves when y'all moved her to WWE, but we get a whole Sexy Red. Not to mention some of the other problematic things that she's done.
I would like to apologize, but I would also like to state we also gave you Nelly, So, like, kind of some slack on Sexy Red existing.
That has nothing to do at all. That has nothing to do with St. Louis. I'll be honest, and it's after 5 minutes. I give a flip flying fuck about her being from St. Louis. It is very much the imagery that she projects. You have a lot of Black women on NXT who are doing the damn thing, and you take time from them to put this woman who has no talent on the show for what? And it's supposed to be a show for kids. Don't forget, NXT is supposed to be more for the kids. This is also a woman who goes to middle schools and gets upset that she cannot have her explicit lyrics blasting in middle schools, and upset that they won't let her in because she smells like weed.
That is still.
And folks, if you haven't noticed, you might want to go look at some of the things that are happening with your middle school kids and explain to them about airdropping nudes, sending nudes, and the fact that they can get on a registry for doing so. Just throwing that out there for you. But those are my clowns of the week. We start with Punk Ass Phil. We go to the people who complain about AEW for whatever reason.
Stupid.
And we end with the people who book Sexy Red, because what the fuck? And why? Just why? But yes, let's talk about Double or Nothing. I know it was a long pay-per-view, right? I know. I'm fully aware of it. I am also aware that I may have fallen asleep at one point.
Shut up.
Nothing to do. AEW has nothing to do with your show. It has nothing to do with your length of your show. It is very much because I am an indeterminable amount of weeks pregnant, and I'm just tired, and I fell asleep. But I caught most of it, and then I caught replays. So yeah, I loved this show. It gave me just about everything I needed. I'm not afraid to admit I teared up a little bit when they broke up Willow and Chris Statlander, because I was like, why? I didn't want them to break up. I know it's not happening.
I love the pairing too. It was actually a very nice pairing, and of course, them being a tag team was awesome. And Stokely was just the sprinkles and icing on top. And I'll just say this: unless it's going to further their careers, like put them higher up on the card, then okay. But if it's not, don't do it. Like, no offense, we see Trent Beretta, and it's like, what did this feud do for him? No offense. So, like, if it's not going to elevate either person, that's my opinion. Don't do it.
I don't know, because there could be more story with the Trent thing. There could be more there. I don't know yet.
Even though it was basically kind of a, fait accompli that Mercedes was going to win that match and take the title. For me, that's much more disappointing than her and Chris Statlander breaking up. I didn't really have a problem with that. I mean, especially now that she's lost the title, they got to have something for them to do. Especially since they're both going to be away from the titles for the moment. So let them feud with each other, I guess, for a little bit. I mean, I don't have a problem with that per se. I'm more disappointed that Willow lost the title. I understand Mercedes and I get it, but
I wasn't mad that she lost the title to Mercedes. It fits. It makes sense. Mercedes comes back from this big injury. She faces Willow. It fits. It makes perfect sense to me. I just want Willow and Chris Statlander to not be pushed down the card. And I really thought if they had women's tag team belts, it was gonna be those two versus Queen Aminata and what's her name? Red Velvet. That's who I thought were gonna be in the finals. However, I do think maybe Willow could be the first back-to-back Owen winner.
Yeah.
And she did a title match that way.
Yeah.
That'd be a good finals if that's the way that Tony wants to do it.
So I love the stipulation, and thankfully, everyone was asking for it. It happened. The winner of the Owen Cup gets the shot at the
Right.
titles at Wembley. I say Wembley because it's a big show, and so there's a couple of ideas I have on both sides. But on the women's side, Tony Storm, it should be Willow. That's just me. Who else is gonna be? Who else could be a big shot? Who else is gonna be a bigger women's title match opponent than Willow right now?
Jamie Hayter and Mariah May.
I don't know about Mariah.
They can build the story for it.
I know definitely Jamie Hayter. When it comes to Mariah, I feel like there's a little bit more story and nuance in milking the Mina connection.
Mhm.
And I don't know where that would fit in and how that would fit in. I feel like Tony's gonna lose it, and then she's gonna blame it on Mariah and Mina, and she's gonna go to Stardom, and she's gonna fight Mina because it's your fault that I lost. And then that builds up, and she's doing things over there. I think that's maybe how it could play out.
Well,
Maybe.
Did I miss something? Did Jamie Hayter come back and I missed it? I mean, she's still out and injured, right? I mean,
She's still out for now, but you gotta have a big comeback because the women did the women have a big comeback last night? Not last night, Sunday night. I remember Juice and I remember MJF. I don't remember a big comeback for the women.
there was not one.
And it's a tournament, right? So if Jamie Hayter was to come back, they would have announced that. I don't see that happening.
You don't have to announce it. She could be a mystery opponent.
But if it's not one of those two, I don't see Tony losing the title.
I just don't know. It's a lot. I think for Tony, I see it being Jamie or I see it being Willow. And I see either one of those two taking the belt off of her and then facing the other. I also see it being, if Willow doesn't win that belt, her coming back to Mercedes and just completely snapping and being like, yes, I'm a face, but I'm gonna beat your ass. And just
here. I actually did love her, hey, I know I'm happy, but I want to keep my title. I'm gonna go after your leg that I hurt in New Japan. I actually love that so much, and hopefully we do get a 3. I think a 3 will be wonderful. I'll let them breathe. Let Mercedes cook a little bit with the title before we come back to Willow. But yeah.
What about Mercedes 2 belts? Why can't she beat Tony and hold both belts at the same time?
No, thank you. I like Mercedes the wrestler. I think she's good in ring. I don't see the value in having her be 2 belts. Just because she does have a slight injury proneness, and I want her to be healthy for as long as possible.
Show ended and I went to bed, went to sleep. I was ready to sleep after it. All right. Well, should we get started from the top then?
Sure. However you want to do it.
Deonna Purrazzo versus Thunder Rosa.
Some people say this shouldn't be on the buy-in.
Yeah.
It's the
That's what I was going to say. There was only, if I'm not mistaken, 2 other women's matches on the main card, right? So out of the 10 matches on the main card, so you couldn't put another women's match on the main card for one. And 2 Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo on the that, for me, that's as bad as it is as having Jade and Bianca defend those titles on the pre-show at King of the Ring, which we'll get to later. But it's equally as bad. These are 2 of the best women wrestlers in the world, and they're on the pre-show.
On one hand, I understand where you're coming from. On the other hand, I like how they spaced it out. I like how they had a really good story, really strong match at the beginning. I like how they then had like Tony and Serena Deeb, who didn't have as strong of a story, but still are really talented on the main part. And I wish, I don't know how it would have happened, but Willow and Mercedes had gone on last, and then you would have like started and ended the pay-per-view cycle for this one with women. But because that didn't happen, I think it was still a good way to do it. This match was good. Like, I really felt like they really hated each other and they were trying to take each other out. I was like, oh, Thunder Rosa, was she in the bathroom with them girls trying to fight you, girl? Like,
I will defend Tony on putting Anarchy in the Arena last because he didn't last year, and it was a fucking mistake.
oh yeah, I mean, you can't beat setting somebody on fire and then hanging up Darby. Plus, it took them like 20 minutes to get Darby down. Before we keep going, I just got a question, and it's a kind of serious question. Does anybody else feel like Darby cannot be removed from this earth? Because who gets hit by a bus, all they get is their nose broken.
Like he was Final Destination.
Who hangs upside down the rafters with blood coming out for about 20 minutes and don't pass out?
I feel like he's a black cat. I feel like he doesn't get hurt, but if you look back, it's like a trail of destruction in his path, but he doesn't even notice it. He just keep moving forward. And he's like, no matter what, we're just gonna keep moving forward.
I just got questions about like what type of energy is on his life to protect him, because the fuck?
Well, I went with Final Destination. Like, so in the movie, death is coming for them, but it's at death's list's time, and you cannot die before that. Like, people trying to do the craziest things and just come out unscathed because it's not their time at that moment.
I don't know what Final Destination you watched, but that's not how it went. But also, there's nobody in his circle that has mysteriously got unalived or left this earth. Like, I just want to know. And I need to know, like, if I'm around Darby, should I be scared for myself? Because you got hit by a bus, man. You know. And who gave him a flamethrower? Who did that? Whose bright idea was the man who cannot be removed from Earth? We're gonna give him a flamethrower.
So, CM, have you seen Final Destination 2?
I've seen all the Final Destinations.
Okay, in the second one, the guy grabs the gun and the gun misfires. All the bullets are duds. 6 times in a row. Every cylinder. All misfires.
It was done.
Because it wasn't his time.
Death has a particular way, and what we call Final Destination 2 really isn't Final Destination 2, because the most recent Final Destination was a prequel to the first Final Destination, so that moves everything back one. But when it comes to Final Destination, it's an order. You cannot convince me, since this man has been in a car accident, it has not been his time several times over.
Here's my question, and this is a serious question. Not that yours isn't serious, but here's a serious question. How much can Tony Khan, from a liability standpoint, allow this man to continue to risk his well-being? I mean, if that rope breaks and he lands on his head, if he mistimes one of these jumps and lands the wrong way on the guardrail head first and he's paralyzed, I mean, at some point, do you have to say, you can't do this? I mean, I don't know. I mean, is in all reality, like,
at the same time,
Darby's also as a responsible person, like,
Darby's also a trained stuntman. Darby's been a trained stuntman. He's not just a wrestler. He literally is a professional stuntman. So these stunts that he's doing, they're testing them out to make sure. And yes, anything can freak happen and life can just whatever. However, Darby isn't just going out there and just doing it willy-nilly. And there's a reason he does these things and others don't. Personally, I wouldn't let him keep doing these things because eventually I want him to grow older and still be able to wrestle. And a lot of times people forget that Darby is a really good wrestler. He's not just a stunt person.
Pose it another way. They have all these wrestling companies, and wrestling as a whole has a disclaimer, don't try this at home, but we already know better than that. Is it an issue with kids seeing Darby Allin and what he does and potentially pushing the limits on their own?
Having taught kids, hell no. These kids looking at Darby like, what the fuck is the matter with you?
I did see a clip where the guy was watching Darby and Darby does the coffin drop, and like the camera catches the like 3-year-old kids see it and then immediately do it off the couch, and it's like, what are you doing? And the dad going to check on the kid.
That's standard wrestling fan 101. Who has not done a wrestling move? Now, at 3 years old, I think you question your baby on watching television and saying, I'm doing this. But yes, we've all jumped off a roof or put someone in the wall of, not all of it. I'm saying or either jump off the roof or put someone in the lion tamer. Or put a submission move on a friend, or your dad slingshotted you to the couch. We've done a wrestling move.
A Boston Crab doesn't sound too bad. I need my back popped.
Jumped off no roof.
It's an option.
If I'm jumping off a roof, it is because the house is on fire, and that is the only way I can get out. I'm not jumping off no motherfucking roof.
3rd-degree burns, broken ankle. 3rd-degree burns, broken ankle.
I'm gonna tuck and roll, and I'll be praying the whole time. I'm not jumping off no damn roof for shit.
Neither have I. But if you ask the regular wrestling fan, one out of 7 said they've done a remove off the roof and they had onto a sofa.
Look at the demographics of fucking wrestling, and then tell me about that shit. Also, when it comes to kids mimicking Darby, I think you have kids more in line who are going to do speech and music, who are going to do the submissions, who are going to do like the stink faces and stuff, which is disgusting in and of itself. But I don't really see kids climbing up on shit and jumping off like they're Darby. I see them like climbing up on trees and jumping because let's see who can jump the furthest, or let's see if I can hold an umbrella and fly type shit.
Right, kids are gonna do that shit no matter what, whether they're wrestling fans or not, or watch wrestling or not. I mean,
I don't see them wanting to be Darby.
It happened with my nephew and my cousin. With my nephew, he liked to be scoop slammed. With my cousin, he liked to be attitude adjusted.
They like to be scoop slammed.
They would ask me to do it, yeah.
But I mean, it's a little bit different. Don't get me wrong. But before Darby, I mean, we have Jeff Hardy, who did a lot of similar kind of things and was very, death-defying in some regards in his career many times. So it's not. I mean, obviously, it's nothing new. I mean, hence all the disclaimers. But Sammy.
I can't be with you on that one. Nobody gonna pop a damn roof. What the fuck are you talking?
Let's see.
And hopefully Walmart is not selling blow torches or flamethrowers.
Tesla did.
It's easy to make a flamethrower.
Tesla sold them for what, like $800?
You don't even need that. It's easy to make a flamethrower.
Yes, we're not gonna. Yes. Thank you.
It's very easy. You just need like 2 things and you can make a flamethrower.
And we're not. Not gonna sue us because we gave you ideas. No.
Hey, you want to come after me? Lawyers some shit. We can go round for round. But okay, so we had
Next
that
match?
match. What was the second match? Was that the trios match?
Trios
Yeah.
match, yes.
The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass
Bruh.
versus Cage.
Phoenix Sliding?
Yeah,
Phoenix Sliding gave me the. No, that wasn't on that one. That was the other one. Okay. That was when Bowen said he's a gay in agony. That's the one.
Eh,
He did. He said,
Yeah.
"Well, I'm a gay in agony."
Oh God.
I'm not sure I understand, but it feels like the Acclaim has been cooled way down, just kind of fallen off of the map. And it's funny to me because I really enjoy the Acclaim. Maybe the shtick's gotten old and stale. I don't know. For me, it hasn't, but maybe that's the problem. I'm not sure.
They're working their
What do you
way
guys
back
think?
up the card after losing the Bang Bang Gang.
You got that, and you don't really have too much else for them to do because when they were heels, they became the cool heels. When they're faces, they're the cool faces.
And
But
we need
what do
more
you want them to
trio
do?
teams too.
You said what?
We need some more trio teams too. Like I'm trying to think.
Oh,
Like,
we got a
You need to
lot.
rotate them.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, well, yeah, we got the teams. The problem is the division is just ice cold. They don't do nothing to keep it
Yeah.
warm. They don't do nothing to warm it up. I mean, they're
But we got
he
so
had these
many
titles,
teams.
and I thought it was going to be a big deal, and then it's basically done nothing for the most part. I
Yeah.
mean,
I just remembered what I said about Darby Allin last night. That he's going to retire in AEW. Whether it's 20 years or 20 days, he's retiring in AEW.
Yeah, two of your stronger pillars have said they're not leaving AEW. Darby and MJF have said they're not leaving AEW, which is good because now you know who you can build your company around realistically and go from there. But I think Max Caster getting in trouble like he did on Twitter and then also losing his father played a role in them kind of cooling off a little bit. And I think people have been pushing for Bowen to have a singles match, like have a singles career. And I think also people kind of want Billy Gunn to step back because it's like, Billy, you 60 years old, bro. Like, when you gonna retire?
It was cool for a minute, but it's been a long time now. Like, I mean, he just a regular every week wrestler like everybody else now. Like, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, he's here for a minute and be gone, but I guess like
I'm gonna be real. This might have been one of Brian Cage's better matches. Because he had somebody like Billy there. So it worked out pretty good. I liked this match. I didn't like how they kept kind of being like the two big guys when it came to Khan and Toa Leona. I think that that diminishes them because they're really, really good. But I also need them to get away from Cage because he has no personality.
yeah.
And it's just like, I can kind of like, he's kind of a male version of Charlotte, but with more moves that he hits accurately.
All right, real quick. What's the name of the man with the dreadlocks? Can I have that information?
Bishop Khan.
Bishop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's on the front of his trunks. You got to look at his privacy to see it, but it's right there.
I'll do that
So
next.
I remember a few years back when like people were online saying that Brian Cage should go to WWE, and I had stated Vince would not take him. He's doesn't have enough personality. He's not tall enough, and he's too. Oh, shoot! I forgot the third thing I said. Oh well, something that Vince hates.
This is how wrestlers with no personality. They just gotta, head over to the front, touch their toes.
Like you can make it with no personality if you're huge, and you can make it if you're short if you have personality.
I think no personality is a little harsh for Brian Cage. He can talk a little bit. He's not the greatest talker in the world, but at least he can do it. At least he can get on the mic and do it. There's some people that can't even do it, right? That just or won't do it or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. I often wonder, and hearing you guys talk, I guess I understand. But for myself, I often wonder where the disconnect is with Brian Cage. But clearly, two of you guys think he has no personality. So there's the disconnect.
He,
I
he had more
guess
of a
I didn't really see it
personality.
that way, but
He had more of a personality in Lucha Underground.
The third
He
thing
just
was I
can't
said he was too old.
He can't maintain. He can't maintain it. That's the problem. He can have a personality, but he can't maintain it. But he's a better version of Karrion Kross.
Oh God, yes.
oh, wow.
Because he can wrestle, he can talk somewhat. He doesn't need a Scarlet to kind of get him over. It's just he's one of those guys that, unfortunately, and I'm sorry, Big Show, he has to be a Big Show where he flips constantly, and you never really know where his alliance lies in order for him to work long term. He's a good wrestler. He just can't maintain.
I think Kross is better.
I'll say this.
No way.
No. I'll say this.
No way.
I think about Killer Kross in TNA. I think he's better.
In TNA, yes. In TNA, yes. Because TNA has the elements that you can build. And I apologize for saying it.
Honestly, Lucha Underground too, when he was,
Oh yeah, definitely Lucha Underground.
Karrion Kross, again, you need that spookiness and that believability of spookiness. WWE don't have that.
Not anymore.
No, they're really bad at that.
Anika, what were you gonna say?
But as I was saying, I loved Brian Cage when he was with Team Taz, and I think Team Taz did not fulfill their full potential before they broke up. I'll say that because I actually love Cage and Hobb and Ricky and even Hook all together. I actually thought they actually made a nice, decent group. Mm-hmm. But
Ricky had the personality to speak for the other two.
Yeah, the personality to speak for everybody.
But to start from the line for them to go further than they went, but I really thought they could have at least had trios titles and tag team titles before they broke up. That's unfortunate. So.
Yeah.
All right, main card.
Needs Mystique.
Will Ospreay versus
Ospreay and Strong opening for the title for the international.
That was a smart idea. That was a very smart idea to have them open. And also, holy crap. I'll be real with you. I did not see Ospreay winning. I did not. I didn't.
Screen finish at best, yeah.
I loved what Don Callis did. Like, that was like one of the moments of the night for me of, go ahead and do it. He's already going to be going to the hospital anyways.
You might as well. That's the part that I was like, oh, Don Callis is going to get involved and he's going to screw it. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, I definitely thought a screen finish was going to happen. Because, again, I love Roderick Strong, and I thought him having the international title was actually a good fit for him, but they never. That's the thing about sometimes with AEW is like stuff never had a chance to breathe or reach their full potential, and I thought Roderick with that international title could have been something really special.
I think what messed up Roderick was trying to do that and pull in Wardlow and do these other things, and it just didn't give him enough time. I think that's what happened. It didn't give him enough time.
I felt pretty sure that Ospreay was winning this title, which I think is unfortunate for Roderick Strong because this is, one of the better pushes of his career. And I think this next Strong and the Undisputed Kingdom stuff has been good for him. I mean, I think the Undisputed Kingdom is not as good as I think they think they are, or everyone else might think they are. But as a general rule, and I don't think it's come off the way they hoped it would. But I think also for him, it's kind of a double-edged sword because I do think it's been the best he's done in his career in some regards. But I knew Ospreay was going to win here, and I think it's it's only a matter of time until Ospreay's AEW champion. So,
I think next year he'll be AEW champion. I don't think before then, because I don't think they want to rush it and then not have a good build for it.
Listen, I'm down for a lengthy title run for Ospreay here as the Intercontinental Champion.
And I love what Ospreay said. He said when it comes to Swerve, he wants Swerve to have time to shine. He'll take a backseat. He'll take a backseat for Swerve to shine, and then he has time to be champion. And I really do appreciate him saying that about Swerve. I'm like, oh,
fuck Swerve, but also
that's Ospreay though. You must be great.
But yeah, love to Ospreay, but I also love the fact that Ospreay is like, I'm going to take this belt and I'm going to go to different promotions. It works better when you're going to have an international person holding that belt, because now he can go back to New Japan. He can go to CMLL. He can do the British Indies stuff and rebuild the British Indies like he had it before. He has a lot of opportunities that Roderick may not have had time for before, because he does have the family and they are based in the US. Will's family is based overseas. So him flying out and doing stuff more overseas works. And then when he comes back to AEW for certain matches and certain things, it builds that hype, it builds that mystique, and it allows other people to get their shine and build things up. I think what will happen is Roddy is going to go back to more ROH, and he's going to take the belt from Kyle Fletcher, and he's going to be the TV champion.
Yep.
And then the other guys will have the tag belts or whatever, and they're going to do stuff like that. I think that might be a good thing for them to do, because it gives them the opportunity to kind of rebuild and revamp while whatever is happening with Adam Cole is happening and whatever's happening with Wardlow is happening. They still get their reps in. They still get to grow and thrive, which is what they need.
When Pac was international champion, Pac went to other companies, but I think he was the only one who did that. I don't think any of the other champions did. Now, Mox would have, but as soon as he got the title, he got hurt.
Isn't this the belt that Cassidy held 3 times and forever for
twice?
So yeah, he's got it. Ospreay has to have a better run than Cassidy, or Cassidy. He's got to,
You're just a hater. You're just an Cassidy hater.
So next thing, Adam Cole comes out. So at the end of that match, Adam Cole comes out, and we haven't seen him in a while. He came out. He was back and then disappeared again, and now he's back a second time, it feels like. So he's here back, says he's healthy. And then the music hits, and we get Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who's back. What do y'all think about the comeback? What do you think about his 2000 Triple H look?
I think that the two of them are the finals of the Owen Cup.
Okay.
That's my guess.
I'll say this. I missed the mashup. All right, when they play any other song, I'm like, but no more Boom. It's just MJF. Okay, fine. It's fine. That was probably one of the best mashups ever. I will miss that, but I am glad they kind of put a bow on it. I'm glad they're like, you know what? The whole Undisputed Kingdom thing, I ain't gonna say we tried, because there were so many things that could have done better, but we did it. It did not work for whoever's fault it was. But let's just put a bow on it right now. And if they want to do it for the finals of the Owen Cup, fine. But we don't. That shouldn't be MJF's first feud, in my opinion. Now I'm not sure what his first feud is going to be, but I'm like, yeah, let's do something different while he's here.
Do you like the revamped and the revamped look?
Well, they're saying he didn't have the Burberry scarf. The Burberry on the back of his jacket, so it's not totally revamped. It was like he had the Burberry on the back of his jacket. And I guess
but the more kind of He's definitely a more edgy, rugged MJF as opposed to
He was dressed
the
up like
yuppie
Triple H.
MJF.
We'll see. 'Cause I feel like this was just his return look. If he keeps it up, cool. But I feel like this is his return look. I don't see
Yes,
him
I don't like it.
going against. Yeah, I
I
don't see him
mean,
totally sticking to the denim and leather for the rest of his.
I dig it because it reminds me of Triple H. I think
Well,
Triple H was the opposite, though. I think Triple H was denim jacket with the leather vest, where MJF was leather jacket with the denim vest.
I think
always.
it was tonight. I don't think it's his. I don't think it's his. I don't think it's a total revamp. I could be wrong, but I don't think it. I think it was just a return look. Salute to Triple H, but I'm gonna go back to something else.
I know. I'm just a hater, but I've always actively disliked Triple H in every incarnation. So I definitely don't want to see MJF as Triple H. And for me personally, I like the snobby, well-dressed MJF. I think it comes off better for that snarky, snobby, especially "I'm better than you." The tough guy in denim just for me doesn't fit him. Um, so I don't really care for it, but it is what it is.
I don't care about MJF. I enjoyed him being injured and gone. I wish it had lasted longer.
For the ratings of AEW, let him cook this a little bit. Let's see if it.
Let's see if those ratings really pop, or if he's gonna be, or if Jericho pops more. Let's see.
Don't say that. Oh gosh.
Get rid of them both.
That led into Bang Bang Gang versus Death Triangle for the both. I think it was for both the AEW Trios titles and the Ring of Honor 6-man titles because they're both held
Unified World Trios. Yeah.
Unified belts. So, Bang Bang Gang retains. What do you guys think of this match?
Welcome back, Juice.
Phoenix almost slided off that damn stage.
It sure did.
1, 2. Holy shit, this match was good. 3. Why is Alex out there?
He just had
right.
Bro, you didn't even try to confront Juice. You just let him just go.
Right.
Also, Pac is a dangerous little man. That is a dangerous little man. Jay White better watch out. He just go here, boy, maybe feel something and just eat.
Do you think Juice is going to bring back the loaded punch?
So is Juice healed up or not? Because in my mind, he's just gonna be with the Bang Bang Gang for a little bit. I don't know if he's 100% cleared, and I'm perfectly fine with that because he doesn't have to be cleared to be with the Bang Bang Gang. That's just me. So if he's just with them just to be, the little extra ingredient that they did need, I'm all for it. Okay, real quick. When is the tournament for the Diamond Ring that MJF always wins? I feel like, did y'all skip that tournament because he wasn't here? And if so, boo on AEW, boo y'all.
Don't they do that in winter?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Okay.
I think so.
I don't know. Like, when was the last time they did this thing for the Diamond Ring? Okay, just tell me something. Okay, I had to get off the chest. Because I remember last thing was MJF versus Juice for the ring. And time, no offense, time is the construct I have not. I'm like, you know what? Screw y'all. They didn't want this.
I think that's like winter is coming.
Okay.
I think having Bang Bang Gang retain here is a good decision.
Yeah. I mean, I liked the Guns. I understand I might be in the minority for that, but I like the Guns.
I love both teams, so I don't have that much skin in the game. I do love Death Triangle as a group, and I want them to have the run, but I felt like it was
again.
Too soon. Yes, but I felt like it was too soon to get them both off the Bang Bang Gang. I'm like, keep them on Jay White in the Bang Bang Gang a little bit longer. I do believe.
Personally, I would like for the Bang Bang Gang to lose the titles to someone who's never held the belts before. I could really go for like a Blackpool Combat Club.
We don't know if Lil Udall's coming back. So.
Well, we can get Shooter.
Shooter's against Moxley right now.
They did that with love.
Let's see. We got Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's Championship. Toni Storm
ain't got no sense. She has no sense.
She has no freaking sense.
The media scrum proved it.
And here's the thing, right? She retained. I think no one really thought that was the prize. As much as Mariah May is cool, I do agree with CM. As of right now, she's not big enough to get the belt off of Toni. That's just me. Right now, Toni is on this amazing ride as champion, and I need someone. I need a real top dog to take the belt off of Toni.
Is there somebody
who
they haven't positioned anybody, right? I mean, they definitely haven't been booking anybody that way. I mean,
get them, but I don't think Mariah May is ready yet. If you want, I will say to the cows come home. I don't like 2 belts, but if you want a thing to have 2 belts, she's right there. But we're not. Whatever.
Should they wait for WWE to fire somebody, hire them, and have them take the belt off her? Because there's no one on that roster that's active if you're not counting Mariah May. Like, Jamie Hayter's injured, and when she comes back, she can do it.
So let's
I'm looking at that roster and I don't see anybody.
There were 2 women that were on the kickoff show that definitely have the skills
to
match
lost
Toni
to her.
Storm in the ring. That doesn't mean that they don't have the skills to beat her.
You have a whole Willow there. There's also the fact that allegedly Becky Lynch ain't re-signed yet.
Yeah, I did hear that. She could have been her last match for Raw last night, supposedly. That's the rumors. So
there's a whole Rebecca Quinn that could be unsigned.
Who is that very nice name? I'll say this: I'm comparing it to Roman Reigns, and until you have a Cody Rhodes to take it off of him, or you have a Sami Zayn to take it off of Toni Storm, leave it on her.
Which Mariah May would be the Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
The person in the group, the person who's not as big as that person, but is getting better and is getting the fan support behind them. It is line for line, Sami Zayn.
It's not the line for line because Sami Zayn's already had a great career. People know what Sami Zayn can do. He's already been a champion. Mariah May is brand new to AEW.
Yeah.
And to the women's division. So it's not the same.
We actually have a whole Megan Bain too.
But Mina Shirakawa came in, and Mina is the Kevin Owens in that situation.
I mean, it's a fair, decent. I mean, it's a decent analogy.
You just need Toni Storm to start beating Mina with a chair, hand the chair over to Mariah May, say hit her, and then hits Toni Storm instead. That's all you need.
I'll speak just for me. Emotionally, I'm not that invested in Mariah May beating Toni. I don't think they're like when it was Sami, we were all like, yes, do it. I don't think right now if Mariah May meets Toni, Mariah May's the heel. She's not the baby face. She's gonna beat the freaking heel if she beats Toni Storm right now.
Well, that's because people already loved Sami Zayn. He was already over. I mean, he already had, when all that started. So
which is crazy because he was a heel for so many years.
But that's what I'm saying. As of right now, no one is emotionally there to beat Toni, unless you want to go full blown heel. But babyface wise, maybe a couple of wins for Willow. But yeah, keep that belt on Toni until you have someone who is actually ready.
All right, then we moved on to one of the 2 slow matches in the night for me. Of course, I'm a hater, but Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta, which is unfortunate because I love Trent Beretta. So, but I just thought that this match, unfortunately, was a little bit It was a grudge match that I don't think hit where they wanted it to hit, and I don't think people cared as much as I think they were hoping people would. What do you guys think?
I thought this was my least favorite match of the night, but not by much.
This was actually one of my more favorite matches of the night, just because I like both of them and I wanted to see what would happen with both of them. I'm interested to see what happens now that Stat has turned. Will she get with Trent and have Trent and Trent have Stokely lead the little faction, or what's gonna happen there? I also did not think Orange Cassidy was gonna win.
Right?
What's going on with Orange Cassidy and Don Callis?
We don't know yet, but we do know there's going to be a contract offered for the Callis family. But we don't know who that contract is for.
I think it's for Statlander. I'm putting it out there. It's going to be for Statlander. We need a woman in the Don Callis family.
But I will say that having somebody like Don Callis kind of helped Orange Cassidy, because it's like it's sort of like Star Wars. Like, come to the dark side, Anakin. Like, I'm over here. The Jedi aren't telling you all the truth. And then the Jedi are like, yeah, we're not telling you the truth, but come to the light side. We're good. Yeah. And Orange Cassidy is Anakin Skywalker. Where is he going to go? Where is he going to go?
So anything else about this match?
I will say this. I love that they brought. I get it. When you have a favorite song on the indie scene, I get it. But I did love OC's the "In My Mind" theme song.
Where is my mind?
Where is my mind? I thought that matched him better in his whole technological presence of being in the ring and appearing not to care, but we know he does care. So I did love that they bring that back. That's just me.
All right. Let's see. Hold on, my mouse isn't moving. Sorry.
Three-way FTW rules match for the FTW Championship. Chris Jarrett, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. My second least favorite match of the card, which hurts me because I love Shibata.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Other than Shibata, and it hurts me to say it, this was my least favorite match of the night.
If it was just been Shibata and Hook, I would have been happy.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho being in there did nothing for me. Although I was happy to see Brian Keith.
Yeah.
I like that.
I just don't want him in that faction. I don't want him in that faction.
I like the spot where they did the dice instead of tacks.
Sammy equated it to feeling like a Lego, which I can, yeah.
Oh God, I would never want to do that, but yeah.
No, I imagine it's like pretty much the same as a Lego.
If this leads to me having Shibata, Hook, and Samoa Joe in a faction, then okay, it does its job. Cause I feel like that's where we're going. That's where we should go.
Samoa Joe?
Please go Samoa Joe, Shibata. Like these backstage segments where Samoa Joe's trying to give Hook and Shibata this advice. I'm like, yes, go there, that way. Don't deviate. Go that way. Even the beginning of the year, I'm like, after Hook versus Samoa Joe, yes, Hook being Samoa Joe's young boy. That makes total sense. Why is no one else thinking of this? Why has this not happened?
You know, Samoa Joe would be like a top 5 choice. Like if I was creating a wrestling company of people who I'd want, because he can do it all. Like he can do commentary. He can help with the boys in the back, help develop them and become better. Because like he's been there, he's done that, he's been everywhere, he's won everything. Like he is an ultimate wrestler, and I just can't give him enough flowers. Like just man.
I hope it comes back. I think that would really. We're talking about.
The thing that came out of this for me was that I think the Brian Keith is joining Chris Jericho's faction, which I find disappointing. That I'm not happy with. I don't want to see him in the learning tree. And I don't understand why Jericho has to have this FTW title. First of all, I don't understand the need of the FTW title in the first place. But if you're gonna have it, I don't understand why Jericho has to have it. Thirdly, can Taz not? Is he just medically not? Because I want to see Taz go in and choke
He's
Jericho out.
not.
Not clear.
He's not. Like he literally
He
can't.
physically cannot do it, huh?
He can't.
The way I see it, though, is that Jericho's on TV every week and he gets plenty of time. By being by Jericho, Brian Keith will be on TV every week and get plenty of time.
We'll see. I think this is a hire because he's supposed to be this for correct me. What is Keith Lee's? Is he a bandit or desperado? Bounty hunter. He's a bounty hunter.
Yeah, bounty
So
hunter.
let's actually make him a bounty hunter and a gun for hire. So hopefully that's just what this was. He was hired for a one-time shot from Jericho, and that's it.
I mean, that's kind of Gates of Agony's gimmick.
And they don't do it. Like they suck at it.
That's why they turned on Swerve. That's why they worked with MJF before. Like, you pay them money, they'll beat up whoever you want.
But Brian Keith is a bounty hunter, so that's actually in the title. So if y'all want to actually make that an actual thing, I'm out for that.
All right, Moxley to Takeshita next.
One of my favorite matches of the night.
Did
I
anyone
agree.
doubt this is not going to roll? Did anyone have any doubts this is not going to be good?
I thought Takeshita was gonna win.
I did too. Well,
Mhm.
okay, so I misunderstood. At first, I thought it was a title match, and I thought Moxley was going to win. Then when I realized it wasn't a title match and it was an eliminator, I thought Takeshita's got to win and have a shot down the road again. But obviously, they decided not to go that way since Mox won, which I was a little surprised. But good nonetheless, solid match. I mean, both guys are amazing wrestlers, right? So
still up in the air on who Mox's opponent at Forbidden Door will be.
Unfortunately, this had too much politics in it where New Japan didn't want Takeshita to win because he's not assigned to New Japan. He's assigned to another company.
DDT.
DDT, and that's why it was an eliminator, not a championship. Unfortunately, that kind of soured everyone on the match. This could be people didn't know who's going to win, that was a whole mess about the backstage stuff, which is unfortunate because Takeshita, he's good, he's great. Do more. Do more. Please just do more.
let's see. Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black in a barbed wire steel cage.
And they thought nobody was gonna remember Gangrel.
That is hilariously stupid.
We did have a Gangrel sighting. He came up through the middle of the ring.
I don't know who specifically told him this. That's probably the one of those sexiest entrances in the freaking Attitude Era. That's probably one of the sexiest. Them just coming in.
Has Mike Bailey not wrestled a match in New Japan?
That's random.
Well,
I'm
he's
sure.
on the DDT roster as well. So
yeah.
They're making an issue about Takeshita, but has Mike Bailey never
I don't
wrestled a
think
match?
recently he has. I feel like before he called the band, he did.
Well, let's see. Is anyone surprised that Adam Copeland retained his title?
Me?
A little bit, yeah.
Because I definitely thought they were gonna massacre him.
But once I saw Gangrel, I was like, oh, okay.
I had hope
if
because
Gangrel wasn't there, he should have lost the title.
So since we're here talking about this match, and this is one of CM's clowns of the week, did y'all have any problem with Christian coming off the top of the cage?
Adam Copeland.
Adam Copeland coming off the top of the cage.
Okay, yes, when you're that old and you never take the high flying spots. Christian was always the one doing the high flying spots, but for some reason,
Not always.
Well,
He's scared Jeff Hardy.
But that was you jumping off mid rope, not like Jeff Hardy had the most. Jeff Hardy had the bigger
Edge
job.
jumped off the ladder.
Yeah.
Right. But like,
If you didn't hit Jeff Hardy at the right angle, he could have killed himself.
They both could have died.
Like at 46 years old, or you're hitting 50, sir. I don't know. Cause I don't want to say don't do it, but how you just you didn't land on him. You stopped. You landed on your feet, and then you dropped the elbow. It was like did you practice this? Okay, I'll say that.
Oh, absolutely did not practice, because then you might have ran the risk of not having the match altogether.
Okay, there you go.
Look good. I don't think he landed the way he was supposed to.
No. Compared to TLC, I'm pretty sure they sketched that out of the whole spear while Jeff Hardy's hanging. I don't think Adam Copeland ever did a top rope elbow, and if you have never done it, sir, don't do it now.
Well, I mean, AEW has a bad track record of people off cages. Like Cody broke his toes. Jericho broke his elbow. Did the Lucha Bros break anything when they had that match with the Young Bucks?
I think so.
Yeah.
They came into the match injured.
Edge is the first person in AEW to jump off the top of the cage and not get injured, as far as we know.
No, he got injured. He needs surgery.
Oh, Edge got injured? I mean, Adam Copeland?
He broke his
Every time somebody jumps off the top of the cage.
Oh, he did? He did get injured.
Yeah, he did.
He got to have surgery.
And I'm not laughing at him getting injured. I'm laughing at the old man stuff where you really thought, like, how this was really an old man loop on the YouTube page. I'm very sorry you got hurt. And they compared it to Sting, who was doing stuff with Darby, and I think the only thing Sting broke was his teeth. And that, again, that was because it was two tables, not one. That's debatable about why that spot went wrong. So that's why I'm laughing now. But please get better Edge.
So what are they going to do with the TNT title? Is he just going to be out there for a minute, or is he going to vacate it, or what?
Tournament.
Oh, definitely vacate. They say he needs surgery. So that means that you are not coming back anytime soon.
Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens on Dynamite, I guess, this week, huh? All right. Next, we had Willow versus Mercedes for the TBS Championship. Mercedes got the win here for her first AEW title. What, a first of many, I assume. I mean, I guess there's only 2 women's belts, but many times she'll hold probably both, or at least, whatever.
I think I barely edged this match over the Mox match. Like, just a little bit better. Like, those Meteoras from Mercedes, like, crazy.
I really thought Willow was going to retain here.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Mercedes was going to win, but I really was hoping Willow was going to win. This felt kind of like the Ospreay Strong match for me, which was like I knew Mercedes was going to win, but I wasn't hoping. I wanted Will Ospreay to win the first match. I was hoping Willow was going to win this match, but I knew Mercedes was going to win.
Also, there at the end where like Mercedes picked Willow up, like I had in my head, okay, well Willow's about to reverse out of this. But no, Mercedes then went and lifted Willow up and then slammed her down and everything. And I was like, holy crap, Mercedes is stronger than I thought she was.
This is true. First things first. I need y'all to do better on the entrances. I know she's Mercedes Moné, but Willow's your freaking champion. I'm not asking for another freaking drum line, but dad, go on it. Give her something. Give her some pyro. She's a freaking champion.
I felt that was kind of charming.
No.
I thought it was charming. Like, here comes Mercedes with all this fanfare, and Willow's like, hey, I'm Willow. Let's go.
I'm here to fight.
Like, I don't need it to be, because like, no offense, I think Mercedes was a lot. Like the whole stupid believe in yourself and you're the heel.
She had a WrestleMania entrance, yes.
I know it a lot, but I'm like with Willow, she is your champion. It's like, get some pyro. Just give her some pyro. It's a nice little sparkler. It's not, I'm fine with it.
Thought it was a little weird too, honestly.
I'll just say this: do not put Willow back down the card. That's all I say. Because I think we all knew this was going to happen, that Mercedes wins the belt. So I was hope and knowing, like, if I had to put money down, I would put on Mercedes because it is what it is. But, like, please do not forget about Willow. Please do not let her put down in the card. Because if anything, this build showed you how great Willow was, because she was eating Mercedes up on that mic and in the ring. Like, and I get it, Mercedes wasn't cleared, but she was a champ. She was TBS champ for that little short period of time. She showed out. So please do not forget about her. I was just saying that.
Do you think it would be weird if Willow went from losing this title to Mercedes to a feud with Toni Storm? I'm not saying beating her for the title, but a feud with Toni Storm, at least for that title.
If they got Christian versus Swerve, heck no, I don't think it'll be weird for Willow versus Toni. And Christian lost his TNT belt. I think that's apropos.
So she's got to beat Chris Statlander, win the Owen Cup again, second time, and then facing Toni Storm at Wembley. Like, yeah.
Well, it didn't have it at Wembley, because don't we have a pay-per-view before Wembley?
Forbidden Door, where they fight the New Japan people.
And then
Stardom.
So it's only two. It's only Forbidden Door, and then it goes right to Wembley.
All right, let's see. We got like two more matches. So CM's trying to get out of here. I know that we're running over already. So let's see. The next one was.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I'm not gonna make it because I'm about to sleep right now.
All right.
When it comes to Christian and Swerve, that was really banger ass match. Loved it. Anarchy in the Arena was a good time. Probably their best one they've done.
How did you feel about the countdown being the theme song for this Anarchy?
It was perfect. Perfectly timed, perfectly played. Great. But me and this heartburn are having an issue, so.
All right. Thanks for staying as long as you did. Peace. All right. So Swerve and Christian Cage. We'll go ahead and finish this up. Swerve and Christian. Obviously, Swerve retained, beating Christian. What do you think happens to Christian at this point? You think he gets another shot at Swerve? You think he has some sort of interaction with Christian, with Edge, or with Adam? Okay, what are you shaking your head at, Tim? Go ahead.
He's gonna go and win the TNT title back
from Adam Copeland.
From vacant.
Oh, okay.
Because
I guess you're right. So Adam's injured. You're right. Okay.
I don't think he should win it. I think he should be in a tournament. Hopefully, there's a tournament. If we're throwing that stuff out there to crown the new TNT champion, a little mini tournament, I would love that more than just having 3 matches or declaring who should go against each other for the belt. I don't think he should win it back, but I think he should be in the tournament.
Is it time to break up the patriarchy?
No, because there's still stuff in the back, and Nick Wayne still isn't there yet. And I don't know why. Maybe because he needs more matches on TV. But yeah.
If you wanted, you could split Luchasaurus off, but definitely not break up the patriarchy. Like, Luchasaurus could leave. He could, if you wanted him to.
How long, what kind of legs does Mama Wayne have? She doesn't do anything. I mean, how long is she destined to be coming out with Christian? Indefinitely, as long as the patriarchy continues, or what?
I would imagine.
Because she's still a rookie. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is her first time being in front of the cameras. I don't think she's ever done anything related to wrestling.
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, I mean, I don't know her from anywhere. So
in that aspect, I think she's doing pretty well. She's still learning. I think she's learning very quickly on the job. So yeah, I think until the patriarchy breaks up, let her still be in the group. Yeah.
I mean, I don't like it as much as Shelton with his mom.
Was anyone surprised that Swerve won?
No. Unfortunately not.
And what's next for Swerve?
Something
Um,
Is Hangman Page coming back? First of all, is he actually injured, or is he just on vacation? Is he actually injured? I mean, what?
I think he's just on vacation.
Okay. Is
And
this the time for him to come back and re-warm up that feud now that Swerve's champion?
who?
yes,
Sorry, I was thinking about your question.
Oh, Hangman Page. I'm saying, is it the right time to bring him back and re-warm up that feud? I mean, that feud never ended, right? They've never put a bow on that feud, so.
So here's the thing. I wouldn't mind it because especially now with the elite being in charge, I think that would be a great little tie. That would definitely put Swerve in the main event because I think Heyman will be conflicted of I hate Swerve, but as of right now, he has no part in the new elite. So I think that would really tie into Swerve being in the main event. I do think Swerve beats Hangman. That's the only thing. And do you want that to happen right now? That's only give me hesitation. Do you want Swerve to beat Heyman right now? And I think I'm going to say no. I think the next thing for Swerve is to go against Jack Perry.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sammy?
I am gonna guess Matt Riddle.
Why?
Well, next is Forbidden Door, so it's gonna be a New Japan wrestler.
Okay.
I mean, okay.
Like, I mean, you could do Eddie Kingston, but David Finlay. You guys want David Finlay?
I mean, I like Matt Riddle, but I prefer David Finlay over Matt Riddle. So for me, yes. I mean, I'd rather see that. That seems to make more sense. But
personally, I'd like Kenta, but I think we have a higher chance of getting Lance Archer to do it. Nick Nemeth, Mustafa Ali.
no?
You're thinking strictly Forbidden Door, and that's an exhibition. I don't think anyone Forbidden. It's hard. It's hard to care about Forbidden Door because, no offense, I don't see anyone beating Swerve at Forbidden Door. So
Yeah, I agree with that.
Really care.
I would agree with that. So okay, so the question is his next viable candidate, not his next title defense, Sammy, or his next match.
Oh, you're talking about who's going to beat him in like 6 months.
No, not necessarily who's going to beat him, but what is his next feud, his next real opponent, not just the Forbidden Door opponent, but like storyline wise, like what's next on the table for.
I mean,
Now that okay, let's put it this way. Now that MJF is back, okay, back up for a second. Hangman Page. Do you think Hangman Page comes back now to challenge Swerve it off for the title?
probably at like Full Gear.
Okay. And do you think he beats Swerve for the title?
I could see it. Yes.
All right. In the
That's
meantime,
that's
okay.
half a year away. Like I see him like facing MJF at Wembley.
Let's say in the meantime, MJF is back. So MJF obviously is going to be sniffing around the title. I mean, he's got unfinished business with many people, but he's going to be sniffing around that title. That's where he wants to be. That's where they want him. So it's only a matter of time before him and Swerve engage in something, I'm sure.
And I'd love to see him face Bryan Danielson, but I don't think Bryan Danielson's going to do that. As much as that would be a great main event to Wrestle Dream and have Bryan Danielson retire, but like I think Bryan Danielson probably has somebody in mind for his final match on the active roster, and I don't think it's going to be Swerve.
So does MJF win whatchamacallit for the shot at Wembley, the Owen Hart?
Yeah, and then loses to Swerve.
And then loses to Swerve, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Hangman beats Swerve, you said? Or
I
maybe,
could see it.
Maybe.
I mean, I'll see when we get to Full Gear. But right now, I could see that happening.
Anika, what do you think? If you're fantasy booking this a little bit? What do you think?
It's hard because
Oh well, I'm not fantasy booking. I'm trying to predict what
not
Tony Khan's going to do.
No, we're just, but you know what I'm saying.
For me, I think it's Jack Perry and then Hangman. I get MJF, but
Do you think Jack Perry will win the Owen Cup?
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. Although I don't want to at one point. Just I don't just just I don't pick. They don't pay me the big bucks. I don't want MJF to lose right now. Even though he probably can't afford it, I don't think he should lose right now. Jack Perry is technically New Japan. If they wanted to do that for Forbidden Door, if they wanted to do that for Forbidden Door, that could work. Yeah. For me, I think it should be Jack Perry, then Hangman, then MJF. Yeah.
With MJF ultimately beating or Swerve winning, beating all three of those people and still holding the title at the end of that?
I think Swerve beats all three.
Okay. So in that regard, who do you think ultimately should take the title from Swerve?
Ospreay. Yeah.
All right.
You think Ospreay will be double champ?
Say it again.
So you think Ospreay will be double champ?
Not double champ.
Or Swerve will just hold the belt long enough that.
Oh, I think Ospreay's holding that title longer than Swerve's holding his.
Ooh. Interesting.
I think.
Anika, what do you think?
I see Ospreay having a lengthy run with the international title. I don't think it's a year though. I don't think it's a year long reign though. That's just me.
Interesting. All right. So to put a bow on Double or Nothing, we had Anarchy in the Arena, the main event. It was the Elite versus, they're calling it Team AEW. Obviously, the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, Kazuchika Okada and the scapegoat Jack Perry versus FTR.
I made the executive decision to call them Team Elite and Team Wrestling.
Team Wrestle, okay. FTR, Darby Allin, and Bryan Danielson. Let's see.
Because that was my biggest thing. Anarchy in the Arena needs a soundtrack. John Moxley's not here to do wild things. That was my biggest question. What's going to be the soundtrack? And they did it perfectly. Where they were like, okay, Darby's kind of cool, and it's like Young Bucks, no. And then we get to Final Countdown. And how the freak Darby Allin does a coffin drop on beat is beyond me. That is probably the moment of the night. But yeah, so like that was yeah. And then of course Matthew Perry talking about cut that crap out. That costs $200,000. We're on a budget. Shut it down. Shut it down. Hilarious.
This was a lot of fun. I mean, as you expect from this kind of a match, right? You got 8 men, all high quality wrestlers, all really good, and it can take place anywhere. It goes all over the place, and so it's definitely fun. The Elite got the win. How'd you guys feel about Jack Perry getting basically the clean win and pin on Bryan Danielson?
Listen, I've already made my feelings known about. More so Bryan Danielson taking all these pins. Because it's like, when you look at, I know everyone can have a Sting go home their retirement, but it's like, sir, can you win at least one match before you ride into the sunset? I need you to win one. And I didn't think they were going to win, but for Danielson to take the pins, like, sir, I need you to win one time before you retire. He's doing one time, but
he probably sees a lot of himself in Jack Perry.
But I was gonna say the flip side of it is if I'm going to get what I think is going to happen with the Swerve versus Jack Perry, this needs to happen. So I'm not totally off it, but it really is like, sir, Danielson, win one before you retire, please.
Do you think we see Mayu Iwatani at Forbidden Door this year?
Don't know who that is.
You saw her last week
On
in the retro watch
yeah.
along. She's the champ
Why you bring her up?
because she's the New Japan Women's Champ.
Okay.
Do you think that they bring the Women's Champ to Forbidden Door this year?
I know. No, I think Stardom's gonna put. I think Stardom is going to, what you call it, definitely going to be heavily oriented in New Japan because all the top stars in New Japan are now in AEW. So
she's not the Stardom champion. She's the IWGP Women's Champion. She is the New Japan Women's Champion.
Okay, but yeah, I think more female wrestlers are going to be in this Forbidden Door. I do believe that. Yes.
Well, it kind of sucks because they lost like 3-4 of their top women. So Stardom's kind of hurting right now.
Yep, I get that.
Speaking of which, Marigold, great pay-per-view.
I haven't checked that out yet. I'll have to check that out. So let's go ahead and rate Double or Nothing overall. Out of 10 horses in each 10 horses, what do you give this?
7. Way better than last year's. Way better than last year's.
Sammy Joe, what are you giving it?
I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, I think I was settling on 8 myself. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought the only 2 down matches were the triple threat for the FTW championship and then the Cassidy Trent match, which was still really solid, even though it was a lower point. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think there was anything egregious. Even the triple threat being the worst match, I didn't think it was terrible. So yeah, I thought it was about an 8 or so. I enjoyed it. I thought it was overall, I think than King of the Ring, which we'll get into now, and I'll ask you guys that too in just a minute. Which one you guys ultimately liked better? But switching gears, that was our AEW review. So we are switching gears.
In WWE, we won't have much to say. I'll tell you all right now. This is going to go by quick.
Because we did a watch along, so yeah, that's fine.
We did a watch
real
along
quick. Before we start,
I was there.
What do you guys? Which one did you guys enjoy more, King of the Ring or Double or Nothing?
Oh, Double or Nothing.
I can't say because I only saw clips of Double or Nothing.
Say that again.
I did not see Double or Nothing. I saw King of the Ring. The Puerto Rican peacock was at my friend, so I can't really say yes, yeah, or no.
Okay. All right. So, Jade and Bianca faced Indy and defended their titles against Indy and Candice LeRae on the pre-show. I already mentioned earlier that I thought that was a little. I think it's bad placement for the women's tag team titles, and I think it's really bad placement for Jade and Bianca. Obviously, Sammy's saying boo, so he agrees. I assume with my take and that assumption. My assumption is that he thinks they should have been on the main card as well. What are you thinking, Nika? Where do you stand on this?
I'm not that down on it just because I like full say words, Nika. I'm not that down on it because it feels like this wasn't about the tag team championships. It was more so about we need a match on the pre-show card. Now, granted, it could have been anybody, but hey, you chose the women's tag team championships, so I'm not that down on it. I do love that Candice and Indy shine. Hopefully, they'll get another shot. I'm like, yes, they're great wrestlers. This is great. But I'm not down on it being on the pre-show because I feel they're going to do more. Like if there's any inkling that that Bianca and Jade are going to continue to be on the pre-show, I will be more down. But no, this is a we're in Saudi Arabia. Let's do one more women's match. It'll be on the pre-show. I feel like that's what's going. I feel like that is what the thought process was. It wasn't. There you go. It wasn't a negative thought process of them being on the pre-show. That's why I meant that down on it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're gonna have 2 matches on the main card, I see. Even me personally, I get that this is the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring tournament, so I guess you can't put the finals on the pre-show. But for me, I would have rather seen Jade and Bianca on the main card and Nia versus whatchamacallit on the pre-show for the Queen of the Ring final. Just that's, even though I love Nia, I just Lyra Valkyria. But I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. Let's see. Main card. Opening up the show. You had Liv Morgan defeating Becky Lynch, ultimately with the help of Dominic Mysterio, to take that title from Becky Lynch. What did y'all think about that? Are you guys happy to have Liv Morgan as champion?
Biggest story to this, biggest character development to this, probably the best match of the show, and it was good.
I wouldn't put it as best match of the show, but
probably best match of the show and mid.
Nah, I did like this match though. Don't really care about. Sorry, Liv Morgan is nothing for me. But hey, go with God. There you
go. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a whole lot to say here. I have been saying that I think that WWE wants Liv Morgan to have this title when Rhea comes back, and I think the first stage of that is already here. So the question just becomes how long she holds it, or I guess when Rhea can come back is really the question. In the meantime, I do have a question about Dominic and Liv. If you guys have watched Monday Night Raw, there was a little bit of a interaction between them two on that as well. Is there going to be a breakup of the Judgment Day, or is Dominic going to leave the Judgment Day? Are Rhea and Dom going to ultimately break up? Or is he going to cost Rhea the title when Rhea comes back by trying to help her and ultimately helping Liv, or is he going to turn on Rhea? What do you think? There's some meat on that bone there. Several different ways you can do it. What do you guys think?
So here's the thing. I think y'all knew this was going to happen. Y'all knew that Dom was going to be up in his britches and go against Rhea. Don't know when, don't know how, but Liv provided the how, right? I think they're doing it stupidly though. Like, oh my God, I didn't mean to. Dude, just not up and go with Liv. Stop trying to go into the go-between. You don't see you driving her in the back all this freaking time. So just do it. Stop being a go-between.
Dom, like, you can't be the one to break up the group, all right? Like, what did you kick Adam Copeland in the nuts for? You did it for Judgment Day. You kicked him in the balls and you joined Judgment Day. You shouldn't be the first one to leave. Let somebody else leave first. Then you can leave.
Now, I'll say this. There's rumors, or what you call it, there you go, fan theories that Liv takes over Judgment Day. Don't do that. Don't do that. Liv is not a leader. That's going to make. I care too much about Finn and Bobblehead for y'all to do that to them. Do not make Liv the leader. No.
If anybody's gonna peace out first, it should be Damien though.
Like if you want to break them up. But like for Liv to be the leader of Judgment Day, boo. Don't do that.
Remember when Liv joined the OC and Bullet Club?
That's the main reason why I say hell no, because she screwed that up, and that was so freaking teenage girl fan crushing. God Almighty, no. No.
All right. Go ahead.
Oh,
what were you saying? I was going to say, let's see. Next match we had the Intercontinental Championship: Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable versus Reed in a triple threat match in which Sami Zayn retained his Intercontinental Championship. Otis, I guess, cost Chad Gable his opportunity per Gable. Heel Gable on Raw, if you guys haven't seen it, was amazing. His little backstage segment with Otis where he was all in his face and essentially smelled his beard and said, "You better do it. You better win it." Heel Gable's great. What do you guys think about this and Sammy getting the win here?
This was my match of the night. I think this was so great, and of course, Sammy coming out to this crowd is wonderful. I think everyone did a great job. There's enough doubt to don't know. I didn't think Bronson Reed was gonna win, but there's enough doubt to know who's gonna win between Chad and Sammy. I love and hate this story of the Alpha Academy breaking up, which made the match even better. But solid match, yeah.
You think the Alpha Academy is actually splitting up? I mean, on Raw, it didn't quite look like that, so I'm not totally sure that's going to happen.
Okay. Someone's turning on someone. Whether it's I think it should be Otis turning on Chad, but this being this is not going to be the original Alpha Academy is not going to be like this. I'll give it 2 months. Someone's going to leave, or some new people are going to come in.
Second best match of the night. Loved Sammy's entrance, but I thought the match, the outcome was predictable. Like, I knew Sammy was winning this. Like, if Sammy did not win this, the crowd would have rioted.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which I love that for Saudi, of like accepting somebody of Syrian heritage, you know.
What's next for Sammy in his Intercontinental reign? Do you think Chad Gable gets an opportunity in a singles match? Do you think he faces Bronson Reed again? What's next for Sammy?
I think Sammy doesn't get booked at the next pay-per-view.
Okay.
For Sammy's reign, I hope they give him another feud before going back to Chad. Because even though Alpha Academy is doing a great job, I still want Sammy's Intercontinental Championship to mean something. So let him feud with someone else and then go back to Chad, please.
It hurts me to say, but he's going to have a big pay-per-view match at Money in the Bank. But the next pay-per-view, I don't think he's going to get booked for it.
Who do you think will be his challenger at Money in the Bank?
Oh, I don't know. Like, that's 2 months away. Like, they're going to build something up for it. They're certainly going to build something up for it.
All right. Next, we had the Queen of the Ring finals, Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria. First, let me ask you guys, was either of you surprised with the finalists in the match before we talk about the outcome of the match?
Yeah. I thought that both women were going to be the other women in the finals, in the semifinals. I thought the other two semifinalists were going to be the finalists. But what I have to say about this match is the ending spot was great.
Oh gosh, it was like, yeah, like no, I rewinded a couple of times, like what the frick happened? Oh gosh! But no, this like you said, I wanted Io versus
Jade.
Bianca.
Bianca, my bad.
But this was a great match. This was for the women. This was a great finals match. I will say that. Like even with Lyra being new, I'm like, okay. So, and like I said, with these two tournaments, two things had to happen. You get over the tournament of being a big deal, and a newcomer shows up and shows out. So I will give them props of making Lyra a credible, not superstar, but a credible main event wrestler. I'll say that. They did that with this tournament, and I am proud of them for doing that. But I am glad that Nia won. I am.
Do you think Nia will defeat Bayley at SummerSlam?
No, unfortunately not.
I
would like her to, but it feels like WWE has a ceiling on what they're willing to do with her, and I'm kind of concerned that Queen of the Ring might be her ceiling at the moment.
I flipped that because I don't think WWE sees Bayley as a top star. So I don't think I don't think like if this was Becky or Charlotte or Sasha, no offense. I think like no, their position is solidified. But Bayley's position is solidified to be like 100%, 90%, 80%, she's retaining. So there's doubt with me. There's doubt.
Honestly, Bailey
Spicy,
might not
spicy.
be the champion at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I won't go that far.
Like, well, okay.
Well, who do you have
Well,
beating her before SummerSlam?
Alexa Bliss.
No.
Because she's got history with Bailey and she's got history with Nia. I could definitely see them doing it. And it looked good for the Wyatt Six faction.
I was just going to say, I guess, first of all depends on when the Wyatt Six faction debuts, and
Could be this Friday.
It's got to correspond with her being healthy if she's going to be part of it. So that means she's got to be coming back. I don't know. We'll have to see. I have a feeling they're going to have their own thing going on, and it might not include something like that at the moment. So, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Next, King of the Ring. Final. Gunther versus Randall Keith Orton. With Gunther getting the win and being your new King of the Ring. What do you guys think?
I preferred the women's match.
I gotta go back and watch this because everyone was like, I'm like, everyone loved this match. This match was slow. What is y'all talking? What was y'all watching? Yeah, I get it. Gunther's that dude, but this match was slow. I don't know what y'all was watching because you're talking about this is the match of the night. This match was slow.
Who said this is match of the night?
I thought
the broadcast. They were like, they love this match.
I thought this was one of the worst matches of the entire tournament.
Say that again. Who?
It was okay. Like they
put them on blast.
Like they care if I say it. Yeah, True Hill Heat and Russell Talk like both like this match. I'm like,
really interesting. I mean, go ahead.
Now, True Hill Heat said it was missing something, but it was good. I'm like, I'm not putting it towards good. I'm gonna rewatch. Maybe okay. Here's the thing. I'm gonna rewatch it without Randy's entrance because that was a long behind entrance, and I'll see if in my mind maybe the long behind entrance took me out of it. But
his entrance is the same. It's the ramp that's different. The ramp was a little longer than normal, so it makes it feel that much longer.
Like, sir, you see the long behind entrance. I'm gonna need you to put some pep in your step, please.
I mean, I'm not under any. I understand that we get along because we often see things similar, but all three of us watched this match live, and all three of us had the same response. That to me seems like that's weird. That all of us would have that same response and have that be the wrong, not the wrong. Obviously, it's all opinion, but the wrong response, right? I mean, Wrestle Talk. I don't know their. Wrestle Talk and True Heat, those guys, for me personally, have probably watched, more wrestling. They watch more wrestling in their pinky finger than I have in my whole body. That's me. I'm talking about ALW personally. So, I tend to, when they have an opposite opinion of me, I tend to question my opinion a little bit. But all three of us watch it and thought the same thing at the same time. So, like, I don't, it's hard to go against that. Plus, I really value both of your guys' opinions a lot as far as, in my regards, probably more than True Eaton on the level with those guys at Wrestle Talk, because you guys have been watching wrestling for a really long time. You guys remember all that stuff, and you remember, all the matches and how they played out and all those things that I just don't. So, and I've seen a lot more than I have. So, and we, like I said, we all had the same reaction, which was there was something off, right? It was slow. It was plotting. I felt like the chemistry between the two of them wasn't on point.
I love both these wrestlers, and the match left me bored.
Yeah, I think they're both superstars, and the match just didn't work. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I don't think it's a knock against either of them. I think they're both still A-level superstars, or as Sammy likes to call them, S tier, which is a very top tier. But this match just didn't work for me.
Like, I felt like this was going to be match of the night. I thought it was going to be the best match of the tournament, and I felt like it was one of the worst matches of the entire tournament.
Yeah.
Like I said, I rewatched it to see if maybe I was just sleepy, but it was slow.
Yeah. No, I mean we agreed. Both of these guys work slow in general. They slow the pace down. They're more methodical, and it just didn't work together. Both of them doing the same thing. I mean, that's what it felt like. So
These two would make a better tag team than they do opponents.
yeah, I mean we talked about how we both think that both of them need somebody that's a little bit more faster pace, a little more whatever to counteract their more methodical style of wrestling. So yeah, it is what it is. That's taking nothing away from Randy Orton and or Gunther. It just the match itself just didn't work out well, in my opinion.
Which
Or I guess
sucks
in
because
our
this
opinion.
was a dream match for me,
Yeah,
and it didn't work.
yeah, I can see that. Let's see. Undisputed champion Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. With Cody Rhodes getting the win, which I think everyone knew was going to happen. Did you think here's a real question? Not everyone knew Cody was probably going to win. Do you think Logan has continued to hold his own? Do you think that in this match he showed he deserves to be in this main event spot competing for the championship at this time?
I felt that way since he faced Roman. Like, yeah.
Okay.
But the problem is this was probably Logan's worst match.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't
Interesting.
say that. I have to review the tape, but
And honestly, it was probably Cody's worst match since Cody's been back.
Again, I have to review the tape. I think the match was good. The match was very good. Again, I was rushing to get to work, so I couldn't really fully enjoy it. But I think it was really a solid match. I put Logan Paul as a good society opponent, where he's going to give you a great match, even though you know he's going to lose. So I think, but I would love if I know you have the podcast, and hey, make that side money because you don't know what's going to happen until it happens. I would love for him to have a good 6 months of let me take a break from this podcast and let me see what I can do on the road as a actual WWE rep. Like as a like let me commit to WWE for a good 6 months because him again he's not Roman. Roman put the work in where he can go off for 2 months and come back and he's Roman Reigns. He mattered. Logan Paul is not there. So I think he needs to have a steady consistency on television. I would like to get there. That's what I want. I would like to see Logan Paul on a consistent basis on television to see where he can fully go. That's just me.
He's not going to be willing to lose millions of dollars in order to hone his craft a little more.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially not since he's able to do what he's done without having to do that.
And
I mean, the fact that he's got a belt, he was just wrestling for another belt in the main event of a pay-per-view, the way he's been able to do it, I mean, he's not losing anything by not being 100% engaged in WWE, right? Not, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I mean,
and he
he's
makes
still getting the same
so
push
much
opportunity
money
as
from the
somebody that would.
podcast,
Yeah.
way more than WWE's.
So,
yeah.
He's doing WWE as a hobby.
When I say give up the podcast, okay, that might be a little more stretch. Well, okay. In my mind, I have never seen his podcast. Let that be once a week. So that's once a week.
Well, it is once a week, yeah.
If that's once a week, why can't you? I'm asking, why can't you do both consistently as well? Like, why can't I see you on SmackDown?
Well, he does a lot of other stuff now too, right? I mean,
yeah. Let's just say every Friday.
Podcast. I mean, he's become such a celebrity personality that he's got all kinds of shit going on. I mean, you know.
But like, I like put it to a Pat McAfee who has a successful podcast, but he's on Pat McAfee, but he's commentating on Monday Night Raw every week, and that's so I'm like, I would love to see it on a consistent basis. Let me see you on TV consistently to see what you can really do. That's all I want.
No, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm not a Logan Paul fan, so I don't necessarily want to see him more, but I understand what you're saying. I get the gist of what you're saying. I mean, in order to be really in that spot, he needs to hone his craft a little bit more. I think he's great. for what he is, which is a celebrity wrestler that's probably the best celebrity wrestler to come into WWE at this point now. I mean, and that's, and I think he likes having kind of being that person. So I think it works.
Anika,
Yeah.
so you called Pat McAfee's podcast successful.
Yes.
He has 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube.
Okay.
Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast has 4.6, over 2 million more, nearly double what Pat McAfee has.
Okay.
I'd call them both successful.
They're both successful. They're both very successful.
It still wants
But
to
like,
so
Logan Paul has almost double Pat McAfee.
yeah, but still, it still once a week. You get
Yeah.
podcast.
How do we catch some of their runoff with our 161? We love you 161, but where can we catch some of their runoff? Like,
I'll say this: the next time Logan Paul is in the main event, I would love to have some doubt that he's going to beat the champion. Like, give me like him versus Roman, no doubt. Him versus Cody, there was no doubt for me. Next time, I would love there to be a little bit more doubt of if he's going to win or not. I'll just say that.
For SummerSlam, I would love to have Logan Paul versus Pat McAfee. Like, I think that would be a feud that would just be fantastic, especially if like both of them are taking shots at each other on their own podcasts. The clips we could get from that.
Logan Paul's people can't hold a candle to Pat's people. They can't. They will get roasted.
Well, the thing is that like Pat McAfee's people like stick with him. Like they are loyal and they got his back. Like I feel like with Logan Paul, some of his people will stab him in the back if they get the opportunity.
I wouldn't mind that, but I know Pat need to get back in shape, so maybe next year.
You don't think he could do it by SummerSlam?
If he didn't do Royal Rumble, no. I'll definitely not. This SummerSlam, no.
Come on, 3 months, Pat. 3 months. You got this. Come on, Mike Tyson's getting back into shape to beat up his brother.
He has that United States title, so I mean, that's
out of shape. Never mind.
That's when I think he's most in jeopardy of losing at some point. The question is to who and when, right? I don't know who his next defense is going to be against, and who. There's several people that should take that title from him, and I'd love to see Ricochet potentially take that title from him, or.
They teased him versus LA Knight. They had a little stare off. Like, we didn't forget about this. Don't worry, y'all.
Ricochet's on Raw, isn't he?
Is he? Okay, so there you go.
You could get like a Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
Look up and tap. Maybe. You don't know. Yeah. There's a couple of people, but yeah.
All right, so that brings us to the end of King of the Ring. So I'll ask you guys again after we talked about it. I assume you're going to say the same. Which one did you guys prefer, Double or Nothing or King of the Ring?
Double or Nothing. By far. By far. I thought that the lesser two matches on Double or Nothing were about on par as the top two matches on King and Queen of the Ring.
All right.
So I can't say that. I would say that I would rewatch the Queen of the Ring match, and I would rewatch Logan Paul versus, enjoyably. I would watch Logan Paul versus Cody, and I would watch Lowry versus Nia. I'll say that.
Yeah. So my bottom two matches for Double or Nothing, Trent and Orange, and the Triple Threat. My top two for King and Queen of the Ring was Liv and Becky and the Triple Threat. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but if you watch those four matches, they feel pretty well on par with each other to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is so weird because it feels like such an indictment of WWE, and yet when you look at the ratings and stuff, WWE is still just always kicking AEW's ass. And it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I get that AEW's still only been around for 5 years and you got to give them time, but it's like, this is clearly the better show. Like, I don't, like, you're right. I mean, I think I tend to agree with Sammy. I mean, I'm not, as far as, the two worst on the Double or Nothing probably are as good as the two best on the King of the Ring show. So, and the AEW or the WWE roster feels very, lackluster to me. There isn't much on there that moves the needle for me. So, everyone that moves the needle for me is in AEW. Really, when it boils down to it at this point. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that's tough, but clearly something's not happening because WWE still kills them in ratings all the time. So
They have 50
I don't know.
years on them. That's all.
No, I mean, I think that that's a huge part of it. I mean, I tend to agree with you. I do think that that's a really big part of it. So I guess so we rated, let's see, you gave Double or Nothing a 7, Anika, and me and Sammy gave Double or Nothing an 8 out of 10. What are you giving King of the Ring? King and Queen of the Ring out of 10, Anika?
Okay, so, and here's the thing. Even though you can't compare, I don't compare. So when I say I give King of the Ring a 7, I'm not giving it the same 7 as I'm giving it AEW. That makes any sense. I'm giving it a 7 by WWE merits. This was a 7.
Sure. Makes sense. I understand what you're saying. Sammy?
4.5.
Damn.
Like I was between a 5 and a 4, and so I just split it down the middle. 4.5.
Man, I don't know. I was gonna go probably somewhere between like 5 and 6. I was thinking 6 because 5 felt a little harsh, but Sammy with the 4.5, man, I don't know. Maybe I can't go as low as 5. No, I'll go 6.
Even the best match on the card, in my opinion, I said was mid, and mid is 5. And so if their best was 5, well, I gotta put it lower than that, right?
Yeah, no, I mean it makes sense. I mean your thought process is correct. That's brutal. Yeah. Wow. I mean, yeah. It's hard to argue with this. All right. Unless anyone has anything else to say, we've been going for 2 hours, so it's late on Anika's side, Sammy's side, late on my side, so we'll get up out of here. Anyone got anything else you want to say?
Nah.
All right.
No Raw review this week.
Okay. No, there'll be an NXT review. It will be tomorrow. So tune in for that. Huh?
So many good surprises. Very entertaining. Please watch NXT. Please.
I'm gonna watch it tomorrow morning for sure. So I thought Raw was okay.
That was good.
I thought it was good. I didn't think there was anything that was terrible on it. I enjoyed it.
I haven't seen it yet. I needed a couple days off from watching wrestling. I'll try to watch it before SmackDown.
All right. Until next time. Peace.